In a small Italian village, many years ago, there lived a businessman who was facing a terrible problem. He had borrowed a large amount of money from a loan shark, a greedy and mean old man, and now he couldn't repay it. This loan shark wasn't just ruthless, he also had a hidden agenda. Instead of demanding his money back, he came up with an outrageous proposal. He told the businessman, "I'll forgive your debt if you let me marry your daughter." The businessman's daughter was young, beautiful, and smart, and she found this proposal absolutely revolting. The idea of marrying such a horrible man made her stomach turn. But with no money to repay the debt, the family felt trapped. Seeing their helplessness, the loan shark offered a fair game to decide their fate. Here's what he proposed. He would place 2 pebbles into a small bag, 1 white pebble and 1 black. If the daughter picked the black pebble, she would have to marry him, but her father's debt would be forgiven. If she picked the white pebble, she would be free, and the debt would still be erased. It seemed like a 50-50 chance. Simple, right? But the loan shark wasn't a man who played fair. As he bent down to pick up the pebbles, the daughter noticed something strange. He slyly picked up 2 black pebbles. No white pebble at all. The loan shark was trying to cheat her. He wanted to force her into a no-win situation. What could she do? It seemed hopeless. At that moment, the daughter faced 3 impossible choices. Refuse to pick a pebble, which would lead her father into financial ruin. Confront the loan shark by exposing his trickery, but that might make things worse. Pick a black pebble, sacrifice herself, and marry the evil man to save her father. None of these options seemed fair, but then something brilliant clicked in her mind. She realized that she didn't have to accept any of these choices. Instead, she thought of a plan that would make her the winner, without anyone realizing it. With a calm smile, she reached into the bag and picked a pebble. But just as she pulled it out, she accidentally dropped it onto the pebble-covered ground, where it blended in with all the other stones. "Oh no, how clumsy of me," she said, with a hint of playful innocence. "But don't worry. If we look in the bag, we'll see the remaining pebble, and that will tell us which one I picked." The loan shark froze. He was trapped. If he pulled out the black pebble from the bag, it would expose his trick in front of everyone. But if he played along and pretended the pebble she dropped was white, he'd have to clear the debt and let her go. Sweating, the loan shark had no choice but to agree. With a forced smile, he reached into the bag, pulled out the black pebble, and announced, "It seems the one she dropped must have been white." The crowd watching the scene cheered as the daughter smiled. Her father's debt was wiped out, and she had outsmarted the scheming loan shark without ever confronting him directly. In life, we're often faced with difficult decisions where it feels like we only have bad choices. But if we stay calm and think creatively, we can find clever solutions to problems that seem impossible. Just like the daughter in this story, sometimes the key is not to accept the rules as they are, but to change the game entirely. This story teaches us that no matter how tough things get, there's always a way out if you think outside the box. Instead of giving up or giving in, be clever, be brave, and find your own path to victory.